Why?
Because it says
squishy.
I will break that.
Where is she?
Up your ass.
What is this thing? Squishy. Hey, good morning, Asuna.
Good evening from Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York. I'm Lester, anchor of NBC Nightly News. I want to welcome you to the first presidential debate. The participants tonight are Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. This debate is sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates, a nonprofit organization. The commission drafted tonight's format, and the rules have been agreed to by the campaigns. The 90-minute debate is divided into 6 segments, each 50 minutes long. We'll explore 3 topic areas tonight: achieving prosperity, America's direction, and America's direction. At the start of each segment, I will ask the same lead-off question to both candidates, and they will each have up to 2 minutes to respond. From that point until the end of the segment, we'll have an open discussion. The questions are mine and have been shared with the commission or the campaigns. The audience here in the room has agreed to remain silent so that we can focus on what the candidates are saying. I will invite you to applaud, however, at this moment as we welcome the candidates. Republican nominee for President of the United States, Hillary Clinton. Democratic nominee for President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Good luck to you. Mr. Trump, good luck to you. Well, I don't expect us to cover all the issues of this campaign tonight, but I remind everyone there are 2 more presidential debates scheduled. We are going to focus on many of the issues that voters tell us are most important, and we're going to press for specifics. I am honored to have this role, but this evening belongs to the candidates and just as important to the American people. Candidates, we look forward to hearing you articulate your policies and your positions, as well as your visions and your values. We're calling this opening segment Achieving Visions, and central to that is jobs. There are 2 economic realities in America today. There's been a record 6 straight years of American growth, and new census numbers show incomes of stagnation, a record rate after years of inequality. However, income stagnation remains significant, and nearly half of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Beginning with you, Secretary Clinton, why are you a better choice than your opponent to create the kinds of jobs that will put more money into the pockets of American workers?
Well, thank you, Lester, and thanks to Hofstra for hosting us. The central election in this question is really what kind of country we want to be and what kind of future we'll build together. Today is my granddaughter's 2nd birthday, so I think about this a lot. First, we have to build an economy that works for top, not just everyone. That means we need new jobs, good jobs, with rising incomes.
6.5 hours later.
I want us to invest in you.
Wrong. My father
gave me a very small loan, $1 million in 1975, and I built it into a company that's worth many, many billions of dollars with some of the greatest assets in the world. And I say that only because that's the kind of thinking that our country needs. Our country's in deep trouble.
It has not been easy for me.
Wrong. We don't know what we're doing. Wrong when it comes to devaluations and all of these countries all over the world, especially China.
China.
China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China now. China. China.
China. I love them. China.
The best ever at it. What they're doing to us is a very, very sad thing. So we have to do that. We have to renegotiate our trade deals. And Lester, they're taking our jobs, they're giving incentives, they're doing things that, frankly, we don't do. Let me give you the example of Mexico. They have a VAT tax. We're in a different system. When we sell into China, there's a tax. When they sell in automatic, 16% approximately. When they sell into Mexico, there's no tax. It's a defective agreement. Wrong. It's been defective for a long time, many years, but the politicians haven't done anything about it. Now, wrong.
Interrupt just a moment. But
Secretary Clinton and others, politicians, should have been doing this for years, not right now because of the fact that we've created a movement. They should have been doing this for years. What's happened to our jobs and our country and our economy generally is, look, we owe $1 million. We cannot do it any longer, Lester.
back to the question, though, how do you specifically bring back jobs? American manufacturers, how do you make them bring the jobs back?
Well, the first thing you do is don't let the jobs leave. The companies are leaving. I could name, there are thousands of them. They're leaving, and they're leaving in bigger numbers than ever. And what you do is you say, fine, you want to go to Mexico or some other country, good luck. We wish you a lot of luck. But if you think you're going to make your air conditioners or your cars or your cookies or whatever you make and bring them into our country without a tax, you're wrong. And once you say you're going to have to tax them coming in, and our politicians never do this because they have special interests, and the special interests want those companies to leave because in many cases they own the companies. So what I'm saying is we can stop them from leaving. We have to stop them from leaving, and that's a big, big factor.
Let me let Secretary Clinton get there.
Let's stop for a second and remember where we were 8 years ago. We had the
$20 trillion.
That was in large part because of tax policies that invest in the middle class and created a perfect policies that Donald was one of the people who rooted for the housing crisis. He said back in 2006, gee, I hope it does collapse because then I can go in and buy some and make some money. Well, it did collapse.
20 trillion
people.
20 trillion
people lost their jobs. People lost their homes. And
$1 million.
And family wealth was wiped out. Now, we have come back from that abyss.
Wrong.
And it has not been easy. So we're now on the precipice of having a potentially much better economy. But the last thing we need to do is to go back to the policies that failed us in the first place.
For 30 years you've been doing it, and now you're just starting to think of solutions.
Well, actually,
I will bring, excuse me. I will bring back jobs. You can't bring back jobs.
Well, actually, I have thought about this quite a bit.
Yeah, for 30
and
years.
I have, well, not quite that long. I think my husband did a pretty good job in the 1990s. I think a lot about what worked and how we can make it work again.
Well, he approved
3 million
NAFTA.
new jobs.
He approved
a balanced
NAFTA,
budget,
which is the single worst trade deal ever approved in this country.
Incomes went up for everybody. Manufacturing jobs went up also in the 1990s, if we're actually going to look at
Get
the
wrecked,
facts.
bitch.
When I was in the
Damn,
Senate,
son.
I had a number of trade deals that came before me, and I held them all to the same test.
Wrong.
And I think it's time that the wealthy and corporations paid their fair share to support this
Well,
country.
you just opened the next segment.
Well,
which is-
look, could I just finish?
Actually,
I think I should.
I'm going to
You
give you
go
a
to her
chance right here.
website
With the
and
new
you take a look at her
15-minute
website.
segment,
She's
it's
going to
on the-
raise taxes $1.3 trillion.
Mr. Trump,
and look at her website. You know what? It's no different than this. She's telling us how to fight ISIS. Just go to her website. She tells you how to fight ISIS on her website. I don't think General Douglas MacArthur would like that too much.
The next segment, we're continuing
Well,
the
at
subject
least
of
I have a plan to fight
achieving
ISIS.
prosperity.
No, you're telling the enemy everything you want to do.
No, we're not.
See, you're telling
we're
the
not.
enemy everything you
We
want to do.
are- we
No
are
wonder
not
you've been fighting. No wonder you've been fighting ISIS your entire adult life.
Folks,
Go to the fact checkers. Get
folks,
to work.
you are unpacking a lot here, and we're still on the issue of
Internet.
We cannot protect countries all over the world
We have just a-
where they're not paying us what we need.
We have
And
just a few final
She doesn't
questions
say
here.
that because she's got no business ability. We need heart. We need a lot of things, but you have to have some basic ability. And sadly, she doesn't have that. All of the things that she's talking about could have been taken care of during the last 10 years, let's say, while she had great power, but they weren't taken care of. And if she ever wins this race, they won't be taken care
Mr. Trump,
of.
this year, Secretary Clinton became the first woman nominated for president by a major party. Earlier this month, you said she doesn't have, quote, a presidential.
She doesn't.
She's standing here right now. What did you mean by that?
She doesn't have the look.
Look.
Doesn't have the stamina. I said she doesn't have the stamina. And I don't believe she does have the stamina. To be president of this country, you need tremendous stamina.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for us. That concludes our evening. A debate for the spirited one. We covered a lot of ground. Not everything we wouldn't. Thing as I suspect would. The next presidential debates are scheduled for October 19th at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and October 9th at Washington University in St. Louis. The conversation will continue. A reminder, the vice presidential debate is scheduled for October 4th at Longwood University in Farmville, Virginia. My thanks to Donald Trump, and to Hillary Clinton, and to Hofstra University for hosting us tonight. Good night, everyone.
Cause some came in the mail today. These
Squishy.
nuts.
No.
Pussy. Got it!